I wasn't snooping. That's the part people always assume, but it's not true. I was looking for painkillers because my head was splitting, the kind of dull ache that settles in after weeks of stress you pretend isn't there. I opened the bathroom cabinet we shared for years. Same towels, same toothbrush holders, same half-empty bottles of things neither of us remembered buying. That's when I saw the pills. They weren't hidden, they weren't locked away. They were just there. A small white bottle pushed behind a stack of old bandages, like someone assumed it would blend into the background of our life. I picked it up without thinking. The label didn't make sense. My wife had told me months ago she stopped taking anything like that. We'd talked about it, about letting things happen naturally, about the future, about trust. I remembered the conversation clearly because it had felt like a step forward. So why were these new? Why was the refill date recent? I stood there longer than I should have, the cabinet door still open, the hum of the bathroom fan filling the silence. My chest didn't explode. I didn't panic. I felt something worse. Clarity. When she came home that evening, I didn't confront her. I watched. I listened. I noticed things I had trained myself not to notice before. The way she placed her phone face down. The way she showered immediately after getting home. The way she talked about her day without actually saying anything. At dinner, she laughed at something on her screen and tilted it away from me instinctively. That was when I knew the pills weren't about us. They were about control. I asked casually, "How was work?" "Busy," she said. Same answer she'd been using for weeks. I nodded. "You seem tired." She smiled too quickly. "Just a long day." That night, she fell asleep before I did. I lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying years of small compromises I had called love. The missed signs. The way I'd accepted emotional distance because I didn't want to be that guy who questions everything. In the morning, I made a decision. I didn't accuse her. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't even mention the pills. Instead, I changed. I stopped checking in. Stopped asking when she'd be home. Stopped rearranging my schedule to fit hers. I focused on myself with a quiet intensity that surprised even me. I went back to the gym, ate better, slept deeper, started saying no without explanations. She noticed. People always do when they lose access to your attention. "Are you okay?" she asked one night, studying my face like it might give something away. "I'm good," I said honestly. She frowned. "You've been distant." I smiled. Have I? Or have I just stopped hovering? That unsettled her. A week later, she slipped up. She forgot her phone. It buzzed while she was in the shower. I didn't rush to grab it. I didn't need to. The name on the screen told me everything I already knew. A name I'd heard before. A friend. A coworker. Someone who existed in the safe gray zone of plausible deniability. The message was simple. "Did you take them today?" No context needed. I didn't open the phone. I didn't read more. I didn't need details to hurt myself further. That night, I finally spoke. "I found the pills," I said calmly, as we sat at opposite ends of the couch. Her body reacted before her mind did. A sharp inhale, a stiffening of her shoulders. Then the mask slid back into place. "They're nothing," she said too quickly. I nodded. "Okay." That wasn't the response she expected. "You're not going to ask?" she said. "No," I replied. "I already understand." She laughed nervously. "You're being dramatic." I looked at her then. Really looked. "You made choices that required preparation. You didn't include me in those choices. That tells me everything I need to know." Silence swallowed the room. "I didn't cheat," she said finally. I stood up. "Whether you did or didn't isn't the point anymore." Her eyes widened. "Then what is?" "The fact that you stopped treating me like a partner and started treating me like an obstacle." She tried to argue, to explain, to minimize, to to reframe it as confusion, stress, a phase. I didn't fight back. I just told her I was leaving, not storming out, not disappearing overnight. Just stepping away, taking space, reclaiming something I had given too freely. She cried then, real tears. Promises followed, apologies layered over half-truths. I listened, and then I left anyway. The weeks that followed were hard, but clean. No lies, no wondering, no pretending. I learned something important during that time. Closure doesn't come from answers. It comes from boundaries. Eventually, she admitted everything. The pills, the planning, the safety nets she built so she could live 2 lives without consequences. By then, it didn't destroy me, because I had already rebuilt myself without her. I didn't ruin her life. I didn't expose her. I didn't seek revenge. What I gave her was far more powerful. I gave her exactly what she feared losing most. Access. Access to my loyalty, my patience, my emotional labor, my willingness to believe without proof. She lost the version of me that would have stayed and shrunk himself to keep the peace. And I gained a life that finally felt honest. Sometimes betrayal doesn't announce itself with lipstick on a collar or explicit messages on a screen. Sometimes it sits quietly in a cabinet, waiting for you to be ready to see it. I was ready. And walking away was the moment my life actually began.